One thing I'm going to do before continuing is make sure that there's enough blocks below this line to make sure that the TNT falls straight down, because if it doesn't, it will get caught on one of the ledges and blow itself up. This is something that can't be done if you compress it too much, so it's sort of a trade-off between conserving space and, you know, reinforcing it to make sure it doesn't blow up. So let's go test it now. I'll put down a hole ring and see if it blows itself up. If it doesn't, then it's all good. Okay. Just what I wanted to say. So it's all good now. So you do the same to all the levels. Just take a moment. Three more. Two more. Let's walk off the edge then. Last one. The problem is, because I didn't actually make this higher than the other floors, I will have problems here later, but I don't really have a choice but to accept that. What I can do is mark out one of these. This will be, well, you know, this is where I'm going to be entering in the first place. And I'll simply add the missing blocks as I go. I'm gonna leave it there. Good. Okay, so now we can start actually wiring this nightmare. Usually I find a nice midpoint, so we'll go down, let's say, yeah, we'll just go to the third level. What I want to do is test. Sorry about that. Okay. What we want to do is see how far torches can travel from here. I've got one on either side, and we want to try and light the entire thing up. It looks like I will. Just using 2 torches on opposite ends. Oh, it looks like it's just short, which is a shame, but it made it so much easier. So since 1 didn't work, we're going to have to go with 2, which will place on the 2nd and 4th levels. I'm going to remove this one. This should be more than enough. Looks like it will. Good. And now to link it all up, we've got to connect those 4 to one central switch. Now if we do the same to both of these and use a single one on each of these levels here, we can then work with only 2 instead of 4 lights. It's all about basically lowering it each step by step, which is a slow and often, you know, confusing work, but you get used to it when you do it for long enough. If I'd actually been planning this out better, I probably would have done things a lot differently. Well, not a lot, but I would have wired it up a bit neater. Okay, so now we're just going to link those 2 together, which will require us to make a nice stairway. You want to work in the center because you want it all to go off at once. If it doesn't go off at once, you're going to have some problems. Okay. So we'll just make a stairway up. And we've linked them both together. Now we just need to make sure that when we light, you know, the top half or the bottom half, it all goes off at the same time. So we want to light, let's say, here, and let's see what happens. So that one went off, and so did this one. And when those both go off, the whole thing lights up. So just about done at this stage. What's this? So it's things like this you need to watch out for. Like, I'm not really sure what is going on here. This should be more than enough. That's better. See, you gotta be careful with red wires because they can also do really weird things that aren't meant to happen. Perhaps they get confused when several switches go off at once. What was that? Good. I think the whole thing's lit up. Don't worry, the bottom floor, it isn't going to have TNT anyway. That was more of a test run. Now to link that, the top to the bottom, we'll make a redstone tower. It's just one block with a torch on top of it, over and over and over. And with that we can link it to the top. So down to the bottom. Okay, and lined up. The problem here is you gotta work your way back down. So break one, place it, and you're gonna go new block, drop down. I'm sorry about the lag, I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's almost night time again, that's no good. And things like that can happen. But you get used to it. And now the whole thing is lit up from the bottom. And then we can use that torch as our final trigger. I won't reset the night, there's enough, like we're just about done at the stage. And we'll just link it to the redstone that's already here. Place this block. Line this up better. Whoopsies, it doesn't work, of course. What it does is if I just switch this around. tested. So the whole thing's lit up in the bottom. We'll place a torch here. Okay, I just turn off the night now, it's a bit of a problem. Okay, so we've placed the final torch. Now we'll have a look. That torch will basically be our trigger. When we want to fire, you just place a block there, or a torch there, and it should work. Okay, so it lights up here. Now we'll go back and check our tower. Make sure that every level is lit up when that torch is lit. That's one. Two. Three. Four. What's this? Oh, it's doing it again. Yeah, when things like this happen, you really gotta be careful, because it can be a huge problem when you try to fire it. Okay. So now we can give it a test run, and after that we can fire it, and launch ourselves into orbit. We'll put in a few for each level. You know, I always get a bit of inertia when you do that, like when I drop from ridiculous heights. That's inconvenient. The price I get for using infinite objects is whenever I pick up one extra, it removes it. Click. Perfect. That's just what I want to see. It's also rather loud. Okay, now to test it. Probably should remove the torch first. That's why it's probably safe to use, you know, like a trigger, because you won't have to worry about switching it off each time. Forget to switch it off and you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because TNT works really funny when you have it on active red wire. Half of it will go off and half of it won't, and that's when you have things, you know, TNT landing on inactive TNT, and you watch your entire cannon go boom. So yeah, probably one of the biggest rules is make sure you turn off all red wire when you're placing TNT. And this is it. The problem I'm worried about is that the top level was giving me problems earlier, so I'll probably find that the top TNT around here isn't going to go off, but because it's on the top level it won't be a problem, because nothing will, you know, land on it. Okay, now we'll just load ourselves up. Make sure to replace that block of stone here. And see what happens. And we're gone. Yep. Didn't get nearly as high as the other cannons, but of course they're much larger. Now, what's this? Yeah, it looks like one of them detonated. You know, it happens. And honestly, when working with cannons, you're gonna have to get used to it happening, because it will happen a lot. Yeah, it looks like a single block. No, it must have been at least two. In any case, you know, with space cannons, I've had this problem forever. Just try to avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, that was my tutorial. Subscribe if you want to watch more videos, and I'll see you later.